Today, we're diving into something that sounds totally unsexy, Solana staking ETF. But the structure behind it? Oh, it's seductively engineered. A perfect wrapper for a legitimacy illusion. A story of how crypto's wildest chain got shrink-wrapped by TradFi. In this episode, we'll break down its structure through 5 lenses: narrative, mechanics, behavior, incentives, and memes. Why did a regulatory-sounding term become the perfect fig leaf for pure speculation? You might think, this thing's not sexy, doesn't even pump. But at Structureism, we don't chase the surface. We decode structural illusions. Hello, bosses. Welcome to Structureism. I'm your research analyst, Shrek. From now on, I'll read the white papers, dig through the on-chain data, and dissect every AMA, grinding through it all for hours. So that in the time it takes you to drink a coffee, I can decode the underlying structure of a crypto game, why the token pumped and how it crashed. I don't call trades. I don't make predictions. I don't touch charts. I decode structure, explain mechanics, and unpack narratives. What I'm doing here isn't analysis. It's structured storytelling. A like, a comment, a share, or a save, deeply appreciated. The Solana staking ETF, it's not just something your dad can finally buy. It's a structural machine that wraps speculation in the skin of legitimacy. It makes you think belief is back, when really, it's a soft landing for another bubble. This isn't financial logic. It's a full-stack narrative designed to look rational. First layer of structure: how narrative dresses illusion in a suit of legality. The Solana ETF is a container, not for logic but for illusion. Crypto has always moved on emotion, on gambler instincts. With ETFs, that illusion wears a tailored suit of legitimacy, not to educate the market, but to hypnotize it. Legitimacy is the new narrative magic. The ETF stops being just a product. It becomes a machine for producing the illusion of regulatory approval. It doesn't offer yield. It offers a feeling. This time, it's real. This isn't a street fair anymore. Why is the soft narrative making a comeback? Compared to hot narratives like AI or RWA, the Solana ETF feels tame. It doesn't spark frenzy, it delivers safety. This is a crypto story even your dad could buy into. And it's the narrative you use to trick yourself. This time, I'm more rational. It doesn't need excitement. It just needs quiet consent. That's illusion 2.0. Not emotional ignition, but rational sedation. How are structural illusions deliberately constructed? The ETF didn't explode because it told a better story. It exploded because it triggered a full-blown structural illusion engine. Trending charts, inflow hype, media headlines, KOL cross-promotion. These weren't coincidences, they were orchestrated. You think it happened organically, but you were part of a belief reconstruction project. You're not a spectator, you're a censor. If you're here, you're part of the narrative. Researcher Shrek's key point: the Solana ETF isn't just a product. It's a signal that narrative power structures are being reshuffled. It's not about who tells the story, it's about who defines what counts as one. Second layer of structure: how does the mechanism get you to collaborate inside an illusion? A truly successful mechanism doesn't need your approval or understanding. It just needs to be smooth enough for you to walk into it on your own. You thought you clicked something that caught your interest, but really, it was bait placed on the trending shelf. That's what the Solana staking ETF did. It didn't convince you. It gave you a gentle push. You saw hype, but behind it was inflow engineering. You thought it was your choice, but you were stepping on pre-laid tiles. The most powerful mechanism? You join in and still think it was your idea. Hype never grows on its own. It's choreographed, like a commercial jingle, every beat rehearsed. The Solana ETF nailed its inflow timing. KOLs synced the retweets. Financial media hit the trending wire. Price spiked on cue. This isn't market behavior, it's installation art. You're not watching the piece. You are the piece. The ETF wasn't designed by a single hand. It's the result of structural coordination, like an unscripted symphony that hits every note. Platforms want retention. KOLs want reach. Institutions want compliant narrative entry. Retail wants that comforting illusion. Even my dad can buy this. Structure gives everyone what they want. And you're the obedient little screw, still believing you turned yourself. Researcher Shrek's key point: you thought the ETF was the structure, it's just the set design. The real structure is you dancing the whole routine, thinking no one choreographed it. Third layer of structure: how structure turns your behavior into choreography, while you still think you're dancing freely. In this narrative theater, there are no spectators. If you're here, you're already acting. The Solana ETF doesn't need your capital. Like a repost, a simple moon soon. That's enough to reproduce its legitimacy. Retail's biggest illusion is, I'm part of the script, but you're not the lead, not the writer. You're the extra, cued to enter in Act 7. You're not acting alone. You're a cog in the narrative engine. Every action, viewing, commenting, reposting, memeing, feeds the illusion machine. The more organic it feels, the more thoroughly the system has trained you. Structure doesn't force action. It just makes the path look like your choice. Traffic, hype, FOMO, it's all pre-highlighted on the map. You're just naturally walking in. Researcher Shrek's key point. In the Solana ETF structure, you're not an observer. You're part of the narrative machine. Fourth layer of structure. Incentives aren't about making money. They're about making you feel you made the right move. The Solana ETF promises stable returns. But let's be real, you never cared about that annual yield. What you want is that feeling that this thing is growing, that belief is spreading. You're not chasing returns. You're chasing a front row seat to rising illusion. Why give up high-risk plays to join something safe like an ETF? Because feeling legit brings more comfort than actual returns. You're not chasing gains, you're chasing approval. An ETF doesn't guarantee profits, but it guarantees that you look smart. Even if you lose money, you can say, at least it was compliant. That's the reward. Not cash, but calm. Researcher Shrek's key point. You're not betting on a coin. You're betting on whether this civilization earns its seat at the table. Fifth layer of structure. Meme is the ghost copy of illusion, generated by structure itself. The Solana ETF became a meme, not because it's sexy, simple, or profitable, but because it looks legitimate. Not dang memes, not viral jokes, just finally being able to repost mainstream headlines with pride. It's a new kind of meme power, not for entertaining the crowd, but for letting retail feel accepted by the mainstream. Legitimacy itself is the high-tier meme. A meme is, at its core, a translator of emotion. The ETF as meme polishes old narratives into new belief. It's like crypto's king's seal. We've been accepted. The mainstream never said it. The meme said it for us. You scroll past a viral Solana ETF tweet. Thousands of likes. We're set. All in. You didn't ape in, but deep down, you already did. Illusions don't spread through explanation. They spread through structure. The more people see it, the more real it feels. This isn't consensus. It's a click-driven illusion. Researcher Shrek's key point. You're not observing the Solana ETF meme. You're helping build it. Every repost, every joke, every quote lays another brick in the house of illusion. You're not a spectator. You're the bricklayer of belief. From illusion back to structure. At Structureism, we don't end with stories. We end with structure. At this point, you might say, Shrek, it's been almost 10 minutes, and you still haven't explained how this ETF works. You're right. Today wasn't about product mechanics. It was about how illusion gets repackaged to look like a product. Let's recap. Narrative sets the stage. Mechanism builds the frame. Behavior pulls the strings. Incentive fuels the illusion. Meme accelerates it. Next one, no more narrative, will break down the mechanisms. The system that made you think you were investing when structure already decided for you. Like, share, comment. You're already inside the illusion. But from now on, we look only at structure.